Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Betting Insights. I'm Timothy alongside Sergio.
Hey Tim, hey everybody.
Yes, welcome back. As you know, we are giving out betting tips for 5 different club competitions across Europe: Serie A, La Liga, Bundesliga, Premier League, and the Eredivisie. We will get to our picks for the upcoming weekend in just a minute, but first, a quick recap for our bets last week. Now, last week was not the week we were looking for in terms of best bets. Other picks were overall good, but the best bets not great. One of my favorite bets for the weekend, Ajax starting the game up 2-0. I said Feyenoord would not win with a 3-goal difference. Sergio, you had Ajax for an outright win. We both look like fools right now.
Yes, yes, but it was worth the try. But I think we were too confident.
All right, but nobody actually saw the 6-0 coming. It just absolute no show from Ajax.
Yeah, really, yeah, maybe a 2-0 or something. But yeah, everybody in Rotterdam expected Feyenoord to win, but that was normal, of course.
Yeah, and I thought Feyenoord obviously could win the game. They are having the better season, but obviously I did not see the 6-0 coming. No worries. These things happen. It's football. Let's look forward. Let's look to have a good week in terms of our best bets this weekend. Today we are starting with La Liga. Now we are recording a bit late, but as you know, we don't really like the Friday games, so we're gonna skip those. So we're starting with the Saturday games. First game on the schedule: Atletico Madrid hosting Girona. Atletico Madrid wins set at 1.98. Girona wins set at 3.75. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, the first game was kind of a thriller. 7 goals, 4-3. Girona came out on top, but they scored a late winner in injury time. But Girona has kind of been frailing on the road. Atletico has been inconsistent of late, but 2 good back-to-back wins. One in the Champions League, of course. Girona has lost 4 straight on the road. So I think this will be 5. I just have to take Atletico Madrid here. What are you doing, Sergio?
Yeah, Atletico Madrid, they played a good game against Dortmund, was it?
Yes. Yes, and before that, a good win against Villarreal.
Yeah, but also they played during the week, although it was
It was a
just
home game.
yeah.
Yeah, so no travel. It was Wednesday, but still no travel. They played at home. They stay at home. Now they host Girona. So it's obviously not a great spot. Girona has more rest, and La Liga they didn't play last week, so more rest. But that also makes me lean towards Atletico Madrid. Actually, I like Atletico Madrid because they also should be rested for this game.
Yeah, they should be, but still they played yeah, a game more this week, so I don't know. Maybe I even think that they will draw. Yeah.
Really can't trust Girona on the road. As since the start of the year, they just have been a very poor road team and going up like I said, inconsistent Atletico Madrid team, but at home they have been very good. So I think Atletico Madrid will come out on top in this game. I really like them to win this game. All right, let's get to the next game. Rayo Vallecano hosting Getafe. Rayo wins set at 2.23. Getafe wins set at 3.75. Line for total goal set at 2.5. So the only play for me here is the under 2.5. Rayo has scored 3 goals in the last 5 games. Getafe has scored 4 in the last 5, but 3 came in one game against Las Palmas. So aside from that, 1 goal in 4 games. I'm not expecting a lot of goals in this game. Give me the under 2.5. Are you doing something, Sergio?
I was leaning more towards Getafe, but that's only because I still think that they have the better team. Um, uh, but still, it's yeah, of course, very difficult to choose a side here. But like I said, just a lean towards Getafe only because they're the better team, and I think it's important to them to finish at least in the top 10.
Yeah, they've been the better team overall. So if you're gonna make a player like I said, I like the under 2.5. You're leaning towards Getafe, so the play would be a double chance for Getafe. double chance set at 1.67. Not bad value. Getafe could easily pick up at least a point here. So that's not a bad bet. A lean towards Getafe. I like the under 2.5 a little bit more. All right, next game, Mallorca hosting Real Madrid. Mallorca wins set at 4.9. Real Madrid wins set at 1.79. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, you don't get these odds in a Real Madrid game playing against Mallorca. So why is the odd this high? And obviously, they played in the Champions League also against City, and they will have one eye on the next leg. But still, against a Mallorca team, they should make light work of them, right?
Yes, I think it's a little bit disrespectful even towards Madrid for the odds to be this high. But I think it's just yeah, a chance for us to have a good odd. So
Yeah, to profit from that, right?
so yeah, so Real is definitely one of my bets this weekend.
Yeah, it just has to be. All right. Mallorca is sitting 15th, they're like 6 points above Cadiz, who's in the relegation zone. Mallorca not safe entirely. They do need points, so I can understand why they would make the odd for Real Madrid a little bit higher. Just a little bit more urgency for Mallorca to not fall into the relegation zone. I understand it, but you're right. It's disrespectful. It's Real Madrid. They're number one in the league. They will win the title. All right, next game, Cadiz hosting Barcelona. Cadiz wins set at 4.6. Barcelona wins set at 1.88. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, this game has kind of the same feeling with just a little bit too disrespectful towards Barcelona. 1.88 against just an awful Cadiz team who has scored 21 goals in 30 games. And obviously, I don't like Barcelona and I haven't liked them all season. But against a team like Cadiz, Barcelona just has to win this game, right?
Yeah, of course, against the number 18 in the league, yeah, they just have, even if they play with the B selection. So
No, I won't go that far because sometimes their A selection looks like the B selection. But still, Barcelona, if they don't rotate too much, they should win this game. But it's kind of the same thing with Mallorca. Cadiz, a little bit urgency. They want to get out of the relegation zone. But still, I don't see them winning a game against Barcelona.
no, I don't think so. Also,
All right. We agree there. We're in lockstep. Let's get to the next game. Las Palmas hosting Sevilla. Las Palmas wins set at 2.7. Sevilla wins set at 2.8. Line for total goals set at 2.5. This is another game where I'm looking at the under 2.5. Las Palmas has failed to score in 3 straight games. And of course, they lost all three, while Sevilla has only 2 losses in the last 9 games, but they have not really been playing well. Las Palmas will control possession here, and Sevilla will gladly let them. So I'm looking at another low-scoring game. Are you doing something here, Sergio?
yeah, low scoring, even maybe a no scoring game.
Quite possibly.
Yeah, so I'm actually staying away from this one. It looks more like a draw to me.
Yeah, I would still lean towards Las Palmas, so I maybe play a double chance on Las Palmas. I can see Sevilla going on the road and winning this game, even against the Las Palmas team. So a double chance for Las Palmas might be a good play here, but slightly low value. All right, let's get to the next game. Granada hosting Alaves. Granada wins set at 3.25. Alaves wins set at 2.48. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, Granada has not scored in 3 straight games, and Alaves in 2 straight. Neither team is really playing for something. Granada will be relegated. And Alaves not really safe just yet, but it would really have to go wrong for Cadiz to climb over Alaves. So pressure off Granada. Maybe they want to impress the home fans, put something good on display here, but hard to trust either team. Are you doing something?
Yeah, still, yeah, Granada. Lean towards Granada only because it's their one of the last chances. To for a win against Alaves. Yeah, not one of the best teams also in the league. So difficult, but I would just try Granada this one time.
Yeah, like I said, I would also lean towards Granada. It will be one of their last home games in La Liga, of course. Like I said, they will be relegated. So they want to maybe put on a show for the fans. Try Granada, maybe a good play here. All right, let's get to the next game. Athletic Bilbao hosting Villarreal. Athletic Bilbao wins set at 1.8. Villarreal wins at 4.6. Line for total goals again, 2.5. Now, Bilbao won the Copa del Rey last week and now can push for a top four spot. Well, Villarreal basically not playing for anything. Villarreal overall playing better than at the start of the season, but I can't see them troubling a Bilbao team that has only lost to Real Madrid at home all season. So I think Bilbao should win this game, even though they played last week and Villarreal was off. So basically 2 weeks of rest for Villarreal, but I still like Bilbao here. Who are you going with, Sergio?
Yeah, so Bilbao also one of my favorite bets this weekend at 1.8, but the odds. So yeah, it's very interesting. I think I'm going with Bilbao this weekend.
Yeah, you just have to back Bilbao in the spot. All right, next game, Real Sociedad hosting Almeria. Sociedad wins set at 1.36. Almeria wins set at 10. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now Almeria, another team that just will be relegated. But after being knocked out of the Champions League, 3 straight wins for Sociedad, and they have to keep winning if they want to play European football next season. Like I said, Almeria basically already relegated, so Sociedad just has to win this game, right?
Yeah, I'm going for the over 2.5 this game. Um, yeah, I see the Real Sociedad scoring at least 2 goals, maybe giving Almeria one, or maybe even a 3-0. I don't know, but I'm going for the over 2.5 here.
Not a bad play, but Almeria has trouble scoring even when they're playing at home. So I don't really have a lot of confidence seeing them getting on the score sheet on the road. But they have scored in 4 of the last 5 road games, so they possibly can get a goal here. So 2 over 2.5, not a bad play. All right. Next up, Osasuna hosting Valencia. Osasuna wins set at 2.2. Valencia wins set at 3.75. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, this is a Monday game. So, Sergio, you really like the Monday games. Who are you going with here?
No, not really. But yeah, but you have to go for Valencia in this one. Valencia can't afford to lose this game because if they lose, Osasuna is getting even closer to them, and I don't think this is one of the last games where they play a team that's below them. So I I don't know. I think I'm just going for Valencia.
Yeah, I would also lean towards Valencia in this spot. They were kind of unfortunate to lose the first matchup against Osasuna, and they are right now 5 points behind Sociedad. They are sitting seventh, while Sociedad is sitting sixth. So, they really have to keep the pressure on Sociedad if they want to challenge for an European spot next year. So, I would also back Valencia in this spot. I don't think Osasuna can climb over Sociedad, but maybe they think they can climb or climb over Valencia, but I would still back Valencia in the spot. I agree with you. All right, let's get to the Bundesliga. Like I said, we're skipping the Friday games. The first one would be Augsburg hosting Union, but obviously not an interesting game. So let's just get to the next one. Bayern Munich hosting Köln. Bayern wins set at 1.25. Köln wins set at 10. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Now, last week, I liked Heidenheim to win. Sergio, you talked me out of it. Um, I regret that.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, something I don't know, it was terrible. You can't see this one coming, but yeah, but still, it was it was a really something that I didn't see coming.
Yeah, and obviously
Let's
a
just say it.
obviously a bad display by Bayern because they were up 2-0 at the half and they basically conceded 2 goals in less than 5 minutes. So kind of a bad display, and they obviously had one eye on the Champions League game against Arsenal where they kind of played well. It was a good result on the road, picking up a 2-2 draw. Now they will have one eye on the return because the race for the title is over. Leverkusen will be crowned champions in in short order. So what are they doing here?
No, it's now they're playing at home. So yeah, yeah, I think it's a different game. They need to enter the game against Arsenal with a little bit more confidence, I think. So mm, Keulen, I think it's a bad time for them.
Yeah, it's a bad spot for Keulen, but they should get plenty confidence out of picking up a 2-2 draw on the road against Arsenal. So I don't think confidence will be an issue in the return. But still, they're playing at home, so you obviously want to get the win. And Keulen, one of the worst teams in the league, so they should get the win. I would agree with you there. All right, next game, Leipzig hosting Wolfsburg. Leipzig wins set at 1.38. Wolfsburg wins set at 7.5. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Now, Wolfsburg is in somewhat danger for falling into the relegation zone. Bochum can overtake them with a win, and Mainz can close the gap to 2 points. So Wolfsburg really needs points. Can they pick up some against Leipzig?
It's gonna be difficult, especially because it's an away game, and Wolfsburg and away games. It's
Yeah,
not the
very
best spot.
yeah, very hard to
The
trust them.
strongest spot. Yes.
Yeah, I agree with you. It would be very difficult. I really can't see them winning this game. So I would also back Leipzig, but kind of low value backing Leipzig. Um, Maybe you want to sprinkle something on Wolfsburg if something really goes crazy in this game. But
Oh,
if everything goes right, I really can't see Wolfsburg picking up points here.
yeah, and the over 3.5, I think it's a little bit too much.
Yeah, especially against a team like Wolfsburg.
Yeah.
All right, next game, Mainz hosting Hoffenheim. Mainz wins set at 2. Hoffenheim wins set at 3.6. Line for total goals again 3.5, and I really don't understand the over 3.5. I would stay away from the over 3.5. Mainz picked up 2 good wins in the last 3 games, but one was against Bochum and the other one was against Darmstadt. So do the math. When they played Leipzig, they had 2 shots on goal, and I can see a similar display here. So I would lean towards Hoffenheim in this spot. I would just take a double chance for Hoffenheim set at 1.82. That's really good value given that Hoffenheim is actually the far better team. I know Mainz is desperate. They're really playing for something, but still Hoffenheim's the better team. So I would just take a double chance for Hoffenheim here. What are you doing, Sergio?
I'm just going for the Hoffenheim win. Mainz, they haven't lost in 3 games. So I think it's time for them to to pick one up again. So I'm just going for the Hoffenheim win here.
Yeah, I really like Hoffenheim. I'm playing it safe, taking the double chance, but like I said, Hoffenheim is actually the far better team. So I don't understand the the 3.6 odd for Hoffenheim. Good value, very good value. Actually great value. All
Yeah.
right. All right, let's get to the next game. Gladbach hosting Dortmund. Gladbach wins set at 3.45. Dortmund wins set at 2.02. The line for total goals set at 3.5. Now, this is a game where I expect the over 3.5. I can understand the line. Dortmund should have one eye on the Champions League return game against Atletico Madrid, but they are level on points with Leipzig, so they do need to win to secure a top 4 spot. That's also very important to them. Gladbach already somewhat safe, but playing at Gladbach is usually a hostile environment. So can Gladbach trouble Dortmund here?
No, I'm just going for the Gladbach win here. Gladbach at home. Yeah, it's kind of different, especially against Dortmund. And like you said, Dortmund will have one eye on the game against Atletico, and that's a home game. Mm, I think I'm just going for a Gladbach win.
I'm going against you in this spot. I'm taking Dortmund, and actually, Dortmund's one of my favorite bets. Dortmund, I know they're coming off back-to-back losses, and that's one reason to like them even more, at least for me. Coming off the winter break, they have been one of the better teams in the Bundesliga, and back-to-back losses, they should pick up a win here and pick up some confidence heading into the Champions League game. Like I said, they're also fighting for a top four spot, which is very important to them. So I'm still gonna back Dortmund in the spot. All right. Next game, Bochum hosting Heidenheim. Bochum wins set at 2.1. Heidenheim wins set at 3.45. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, we had a rule, if a team beats Bayern the next week, go against them. But it didn't work out last time when we bet against Werder Bremen. So what are we doing here?
Yeah, but still this time it's Heidenheim. So yeah, but Bochum is I think it's even worse. So um maybe a draw because I don't think they'll against Bayern. Yeah, for me it was a lucky shot.
Yeah, it was kind of a one-off, but
Yeah.
I would understand why you can back Bochum in the spot, maybe a double chance. I know that's low value, but maybe you can do a bet builder for this game. Bochum draw or win for Bochum and over 1.5 goals for the total game. Bochum is 3 points above Mainz. So Bochum really needs to win to keep the distance with Mainz and not fall into the relegation. So while Heidenheim is not really playing for anything, they're basically safe. So Bochum, the more desperate team. We're getting late into the season where the better team usually doesn't win. It's the more desperate team who's really playing for something. So I would still lean towards Bochum in this spot. Do you agree there?
Yeah, I kind of see what you're saying. I would agree with you. Yes.
All right. Next up, Stuttgart hosting Frankfurt. Stuttgart wins set at 1.52. Frankfurt wins set at 6.25. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Now, Stuttgart, one of the most unpredictable teams in the Bundesliga. You just don't know which team is going to show up. And if you want to bank on the fact that the team that beat Bayern is going to show up, although beating Bayern doesn't really seem that impressive at the moment, but still, you can really sprinkle something on Frankfurt. 6.25, that's a really good odd. And obviously, Stuttgart's the better team. They're playing at home. They are also fighting for Bayern, with Bayern to keep a top two spot in the Bundesliga. But whether you finish 2 or 3, does that really matter?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter at all. So, yeah, but only because they're playing at home. But against Eintracht away, the over 3.5. Yeah, the last 6 games they played against each other, they scored more than 3 goals. So
Yeah, and this season Stuttgart is an even higher scoring team.
yeah, so maybe that will maybe that's worth trying.
Yeah, but like I said, I will sprinkle something on Frankfurt just because the odd is just very high, and I can see a very motivated Frankfurt team showing up here. But Stuttgart's the better team, so don't go too heavy on Frankfurt. All right, next game, Darmstadt hosting Freiburg. Darmstadt wins set at 4.1. Freiburg wins set at 1.88. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, this is also a line I don't understand because I know Freiburg is not playing for anything, but Darmstadt is also not playing for anything because they're basically already relegated.
Yeah,
That Darmstadt is just awful, man. They haven't scored in 3 of the last 5 games. So why is the odd for Freiburg this high?
I think they're giving us another chance, like Madrid and Barcelona, no, because Freiburg is also one of my favorite bets this weekend at 1.9. So yeah,
That's
isn't something you can ignore.
Yeah, that's just actually great value against the worst team, literally the worst team in the Bundesliga. And Freiburg, Hoffenheim, and Augsburg are all 6 points behind Frankfurt. So they have an outside shot of surpassing Frankfurt, but they have to keep winning. And obviously for Freiburg, it doesn't get any easier than this, right?
No.
All right. Let's get to the next game. Leverkusen hosting Bremen. Leverkusen wins set at 1.2. Bremen wins set at 15. Line for total goal set at 3.5. And it's getting kind of boring right now. Leverkusen, they're not losing, right?
No, and they won't lose this one also. Not at home.
Yeah, and obviously very low value backing Leverkusen at 1.2. So it's really kind of getting boring backing Leverkusen. So let's just skip that game, stay away from that game.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the next game. No, sorry, that wraps up the Bundesliga. Let's get to Serie A. Like I said, skipping the Friday games, Lazio versus Salernitana. Obviously also not an interesting game. It was a very low odd backing Lazio, and they are already up 1-0. Next game, Lecce hosting Empoli. Lecce wins set at 2.17. Empoli wins set at 3.85. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, the first game ended in a 1-1 draw, and I can see a very similar result here. Neither team is safe just yet. Lecce has scored 1 goal in the last 4 games. Empoli 3 goals in the last 5 games. So, but for Empoli, all 3 came in the last game when they won 3-2 against Torino. But given that both teams are really playing for something, they're both not safe yet. I can see both teams getting on the score sheet and a very low scoring draw. So my play here would be both teams to score. Are you doing something, Sergio?
No, actually, it's a stay away for me. Yeah, both teams score. Yeah, then yeah, a 1-1 is possible, but I I don't see them scoring more than that. And yeah, so for me, it's just a stay away. I'm thinking more of a draw.
All right. Draw very likely. Next game, Torino hosting Juve. Torino wins set at 3.85. Juve wins set at 2.17. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, a top 4 spot almost secure for Juve, while Torino is not really playing for anything. But it is a derby, so things can get spicy, and Juve hasn't been great on the road of late. So, who are you going with here, Sergio?
But only because it's a derby, I'm going for Juventus. They still have the better players, and yeah, for the fans, it's an important game. So I think I'm going for Juventus here.
Yeah, I would also take Juventus in this spot. I agree with you there. All right, next game, Bologna hosting Monza. Bologna wins set at 1.54. Monza wins set at 7. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, Bologna needs to keep winning to keep the distance with Roma. And Bologna at home, obviously a very good team. And the odd kind of speaks for themselves, 1.54, very low. So the bookmakers are expecting Bologna to win this game, maybe going away. So I just have to take Bologna in this spot. Are you doing something?
Maybe the over 2.5. That's interesting. Yeah, Bologna against Monza. Yeah, they should score maybe at least 2 goals. The last game they played against each other was a 0-0, so
Yeah,
I don't
but
think there's a chance for that happening again.
I don't think it will be a 0-0 draw. But Bologna isn't a team that really likes to score that much. They not very high scoring. They have scored more than 2 goals once in the last 8 games. So uh, I would have a hard time really taking the over in this spot. But I would just go for a Bologna win. All right, next game, Napoli hosting Frosinone. Napoli wins set at 1.38. Frosinone wins set at 8.5. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Now, Napoli can still challenge Atalanta for 6th, while Frosinone needs to climb out of the relegation zone. And Napoli has conceded a goal in 12 straight games, so give me both teams to score again as one of my bets for this weekend. Like I said, Frosinone playing for something. They have to get out of the relegation zone. Napoli, they can challenge Atalanta, so I can see both teams getting on the score sheet here, especially with Napoli's defense kind of frailing in the last couple of weeks. So are you doing something here, Sergio?
Maybe about teams to score Napoli win. I like that one more because I'm actually seeing Napoli winning this game. So
Yeah, I can also see Napoli winning this game. If you take both teams to score and Napoli win, you get 2.65 instead of 1.79. So better value. I would play both teams to score in this game. All right. Next game, Sassuolo hosting AC Milan. Sassuolo wins set at 4.8. AC Milan wins set at 1.73. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, AC Milan, kind of a bad defeat against Roma. Sassuolo 2 points out of relegation, so they also need points. AC Milan has all but secured a top four spot, so I can really see them having one eye on the return against Roma. But Juve can overtake them for second if they slip too much. But like you mentioned earlier, second, third doesn't really matter, right?
no, it doesn't really matter. I think it matters about maybe which pot you come into or which bowl and for
Yeah, for the Champions League, yeah, obviously.
Champions. So I think the second spot is better for them. But Sassuolo, I think Sassuolo is gonna pay the price for the loss against Roma. I'm just seeing AC Milan winning this game.
Yeah, I'm still kind of on a fence here. Not sure about that. I still have a slight lean towards Sassuolo, but I just have a hard time making a case for them because they've been awful all season. So I guess I understand why you would lean towards AC Milan in this spot. All right. Next up, Udinese hosting Roma. Udinese wins set at 3.6. Roma wins set at 2.15. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, Roma just they're just continuing their great streak under De Rossi. Basically, only lost to Inter, like I mentioned a couple of times. Yes, they lost to Brighton, but they just smashed Brighton in the first meeting. So, are you going with Roma again here?
Yes, I'm going with Roma here. And also because they played a good game during the week, the win of against AC Milan. I think the team has so much confidence that this game won't be a problem for them.
Yeah, and although they played a midweek game on the road, it wasn't really a traditional European on the road game because they played against AC Milan. So, not they didn't really travel that far.
No,
All right.
no, yeah.
Next game, Inter hosting Cagliari. Inter wins set at 1.19. Cagliari wins set at 16. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Now, obviously, I don't have a bet in this game, just a too low value backing Inter 1.19, and they should run away in this game. They got a little bit of a scare against Udinese last time, but Inter will win the league.
Yeah, sure, and yeah, for me, I'm also skipping this one over 3.5. No, not that's a little bit too risky, I think, for this game. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna skip this one.
Yeah, like I said, Udinese kind of gave them a little bit of a scare last time out. But and just to come back on the game against Udinese against Roma, Udinese has been giving the top teams a little bit of trouble, right? They beat Juventus, they beat AC Milan. I think they also beat Lazio, if I remember that correctly. So maybe they can trouble Roma, you think?
Uh, mm, mm, no, no, I
It,
don't.
it would be really impressive if they just were to beat all of the top teams in the league.
Yeah.
That would really be something.
Yes, yes, and that's why I don't think it will happen. Otherwise, it will maybe be a season for them, not to forget. But
Yeah,
uh,
obviously.
yeah, but no, I would just go for Roma here.
Yeah, and to think they're just 15th, right? And they're just 2 points above Frosinone, who is in the relegation zone. So that's also kind of crazy.
Yeah, but Roma has too much confidence at the moment.
All right. Next up, Fiorentina hosting Genoa. Fiorentina wins set at 1.91. Genoa wins set at 4.35. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, neither team is really playing for something, so I'm just staying away from this game. Fiorentina also involved in European action and would have one eye on the return. They're playing at home, so I would lean towards them. Genoa obviously not a great road team, but neither team is really playing for something, so I would just skip this game. Are you doing something, Sergio?
No, I'm also skipping this one. I was maybe looking at the over 2.5, but it's
Uh,
always difficult with the Italian teams for over 2.5. So.
yeah, especially low scoring teams in Genoa, 34 goals in 31 games, so obviously not a very high scoring team. So I would also stay away from the over 2.5 and just skip this game. All right, next game, Atalanta hosting Verona. Atalanta wins set at 1.44. Verona wins set at 8. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, shocking upset. Atalanta beating Liverpool. So a lot of confidence, and that should carry over into this game. But they can have one eye on the return against Liverpool, right?
Yeah, not a big shock because Liverpool had like 6 of the best players on the bench, so only for to spare them for the game in the weekend. But it was really impressive what Atalanta did. Let's put it aside, but I would stay away from this game because it's low value for Atalanta. Usually after such a good win, Hellas Verona, can maybe trouble them. They had to travel. Yeah, but I think Hellas Verona does not have the firepower actually to trouble them.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. All right, that wraps up Serie A. Let's get to the Eredivisie. First game on the schedule, PSV hosting Vitesse. PSV wins set at 1.08. Vitesse wins set at 41. Oh my God. Line for total goal set at 4.5. This is just really crazy. Are you sprinkling something on Vitesse?
No, no, the 4.5 maybe, but yeah, but I think they're exaggerating. It's a little bit too much, the 4.5. I would even go there. So no, this is just a stay away.
Yeah, obviously it's a big stay away. All right, next game, AZ hosting RKC. AZ wins set at 1.3. RKC wins set at 10.5. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Who are you going to, Sergio?
The 3.5 is an interesting one because AZ, high scoring team. RKC, not that good at the moment. And AZ, of course, after the beating they got last week from PSV, I think they'll try to prove themselves this week or this weekend. So I'm just going for the over 3.5.
Yeah, yeah, good teams when they get embarrassed the next week, they usually bounce back in good fashion. And which is why there's a bet I really like this game this weekend, but we'll get to that game. All right, next up, Almere City hosting Sparta. Almere City wins set at 2.95. Sparta wins set at 2.48. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, Sparta has an outside chance to qualify for the playoffs, so that would be my play here. Sparta win. Almere City not really playing for anything. They have been giving teams trouble when they're playing at home, kind of a solid home team. But I think Sparta should have a little bit more motivation, especially coming off the defeat against Heracles, which is kind of an upset. So I would go with Sparta here. What are you doing, Sergio?
Yeah, of course. Sparta, Almere City, 6 draws in a row, I think. So it's a team that defends very well. But Sparta, like you said, it's a chance for them to maybe reach the playoffs. So I'm just going for a Sparta win.
Yeah, and 5 of those 6 Almere City draws has seen under 2.5 goals. So, like you said, Almere City they defend, and that's how they just try to pick up a draw every game. So I would also go with Sparta in this spot, like I mentioned. All right, next up, Heracles hosting Heerenveen. Heracles wins set at 2.9. Heerenveen wins set at 2.45. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now I'm gonna take Heerenveen in the spot. I know Heracles is coming off uh, two back to back good results. One just smashing AZ, the other one an upset against Sparta. Too hot for their own doing. So I'm just gonna go with Heerenveen in this spot. Are you doing something here?
No, you can't go the other way. It's a Heerenveen. Heerenveen, I think they haven't won in 4 or 5 games, 4 of their 5 last games. So yeah, I'm just going for Heerenveen also. Heracles, I don't know. I think they had too much fun the last 2 games.
Yeah, yeah, too much fun. I agree with you there.
So no, I'm definitely going for Heerenveen also.
Yeah, Heerenveen has not won in 5 games, and although really have a hard time backing Heerenveen on the road against a team like Heracles, that's a good spot. All right. Next up, Feyenoord. Fortuna hosting Feyenoord. Fortuna wins set at 9. Feyenoord wins set at 1.37. Line for total goal set at 2.5 now. Obviously, Feyenoord, the far better team, and they should win this game. They kind of already secured the second spot, 9 points above Twente. So it would really have to go wrong, and if Twente were to overtake them. But Feyenoord, not too much motivation, but against a team like Fortuna, they don't really need that, right?
No, they don't need it, and it's also a stay away for me this game. Not much value backing Feyenoord and Fortuna Sittard at home, even though they're playing at home. It's not enough to trouble Feyenoord.
Yeah, and Fortuna also not very motivated. They're sitting 10th right now, so basically safe. And I don't really think they have a shot of really making the playoffs. So Feyenoord just has to win this game. All right, next up, Utrecht hosting Go Ahead Eagles. Utrecht wins set at 1.75. Go Ahead Eagles wins set at 4.9. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, my play here is both teams to score 1.63. Slightly good value, not great value. But both teams are trying to secure a playoff spot, so I can really see both teams getting on the score sheet here. But Utrecht, obviously, the better team, and they have been really great since hiring the new coach. They're playing at home, so obviously a lean towards Utrecht. Are you doing something here, Sergio?
Yeah, they had their 2 recent games were very good. Utrecht. Go Ahead Eagles, 2 draws in a row. Not in the best form, and away games, um, yeah, they're also not that good. So I'm just going for a Utrecht win, but a little bit low for me, I think, to take the risk. So mm, um, I'm staying away from this game also.
Yeah, I think Utrecht at home is kind of a good bet. Go Ahead Eagles had a slight stretch where they won 3 straight road games against Sparta, Vitesse, and Heerenveen. Obviously, Utrecht is a far better team. Aside from that, they won 1 game on the road against RKC, which is also not a great team. So I would have to take Utrecht in this spot, but maybe take a double chance for Utrecht and both teams to score. Then you get, let's check that real quick, and you get 1.85. So that's a slightly good value.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Ajax hosting Twente. Ajax wins set at 2.88. Twente wins set at 2.55. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, this is the game I was talking about. Obviously, Ajax got embarrassed by Feyenoord 6-0. And listen, man, if you have some pride, you're gonna show up for this game, right? So this is why this is the only, or actually the only reason I can back Ajax in this spot. You got embarrassed last time. You're coming home. Show some pride. Show up for this game. Be ready. Give me Ajax for a win. What are you doing, Sergio?
No, I'm gonna have to disagree with you. The FC Twente, it's not for nothing. They're third in the league and very much solid in the third spot. They only have uh, PSV and Feyenoord in front of them. Yeah, 2 of the best teams in the Eredivisie this season. So no, it's not gonna be that easy for Ajax. And believe me, the confidence in that team at the moment, it's not. Yeah, it's not. It's not a team that can mm, force Twente into making errors even. And Twente is a very good defending team also.
Yeah, obviously Twente is the better team overall this season. But listen, like I said, if you have some pride, you got embarrassed 6-0. You just have to be ready for this game, going home. And I can see this being like the Feyenoord game, where not the last one, but the first one where the game got canceled because the fans just went wild and crazy and just start throwing stuff on the pitch. So maybe this game, if Twente really gets out to an early lead, a big lead, I can see the fans going crazy again and this game being cancelled, maybe postponed. So kind of crazy, but I'm just gonna bet Ajax in this spot. Just a gut feeling.
No, I'm going for Twente. I'm going for a Twente win.
All right. Obviously, if you follow the numbers, Twente would be the play here. All right. Maybe I'm speaking more from the heart than from the head.
Yeah, I think it's I think it's so hard.
All right. So don't follow my advice, guys. All right. Next up, NEC hosting PEC. NEC wins set at 1.54. PEC wins set at 6.4. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, I don't really have a bet in this game. NEC is sitting fifth right now. Basically secured a playoff spot, but you want to stay fifth. So a good home team. I can see them winning this game. Are you doing something here?
No, I'm not doing anything in this game. Like you said, NEC perfect form at the moment. Um, Maybe they're already thinking about the cup final against Feyenoord. That's next week, I think. Or
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
yeah, next week. So yeah, maybe they're already there. But this game against Zwolle at home, yeah, should be an easy one for them.
All right. That wraps up the Eredivisie. Let's get to the Premier League. First game on the schedule, Newcastle United hosting Tottenham. Newcastle wins set at 2.9. Tottenham wins set at 2.32. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Now, I'm going to take Tottenham in this spot for no other reason that Newcastle has rolled out a lot of players, just a very long injury list, and Tottenham is really trying to secure a Champions League spot. So I'm going to back Tottenham in this spot. What are you doing here, Sergio?
We seem to agree a lot this weekend. Also, one of my bets this weekend. Yeah, like you said, Newcastle. Yeah, a whole lot of players not playing. So I'm also going for a Tottenham win.
Yeah, it's a very long injury list for Newcastle. Now they have been able to overcome it in the last three games somewhat, one draw, two wins, but against a Tottenham team that's really playing for something and tries to secure a top four spot, I think they will really have trouble in this spot, even though they're playing at home. All right, next game, Nottingham Forest hosting Wolves. Forest wins set at 2.2. Wolves wins set at 3.5. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, Wolves is obviously the better team here, but like I mentioned earlier, you're looking at the teams that are a little bit more desperate, and Nottingham Forest is a desperate team here. Basically, they're tied on points with Luton. They have a better goal difference, but in danger of falling into the relegation zone, while Wolves is not really playing for anything. But Wolves is still the better team, so I'm kind of on the fence here. What are you doing, Sergio?
I'm going for Nottingham Forest. I think you explained it very well. Just Nottingham Forest, all to play for Wolves, not so much. So I think it's Nottingham Forest that will take advantage of that.
Yeah. I also kind of leaning towards, like I said, I'm looking at the teams that are a little bit more desperate because
Yeah,
if you know the history, you just see at the end of the season the teams that are in danger of falling into the relegation zone. They, for some reason, they just catch fire, especially when they're playing at home.
yeah, yeah. I agree.
All right. Next up, Burnley hosting Brighton. Burnley wins set at 3.85. Brighton wins set at 1.98. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, this is a somewhat similar game where Brighton is not really playing for anything. Burnley, can they still climb out of the relegation zone? 6 points behind Luton and Nottingham. Can they do it?
No. I think it's a little too late for them.
So you have to just have to go with Brighton in this spot.
Yes, yes, I'm gonna Brighton. Brighton, I think they haven't won in three games, two losses and a draw. So yeah, I think it's time for them to get a win again.
Yeah, and two of those games were obviously very difficult. Liverpool and Arsenal. The
Yeah,
other one against Brentford, the draw, not great, but they did dominate that game. They dominated that game. They dominated possession. They dominated in obviously goals attempts, shots on goal. I think Brentford was very fortunate. Brighton did not score in that game, so I think it will be different this time around. This time around. So, yes, I agree. Take Brighton.
yeah.
All right, next up, Manchester City hosting Luton. City wins set at 1.11. Luton wins set at 29. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Almost a similar odd to Vitesse. Maybe take a quick look if you bet Luton and Vitesse in a parlay bet. You can be a rich guy at the end of the weekend. Maybe?
Yeah, but the chances of that happening, you can just play the lotto, I think. So.
I agree there. So obviously I don't have a bet here. I think neither do you, right?
No, it's also a stay away. Yeah.
All right, let's get to the next game. Brentford hosting Sheffield. Brentford wins set at 1.46. Sheffield wins set at 7.5. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Now, Sheffield is below Burnley, so if Burnley doesn't stand a chance, neither does Sheffield, right?
Yeah, I agree. The over 3.5 is maybe
It's
it's worth trying.
also kind of a long shot, I think. Brentford, they're 15th right now. They're 4 points above Luton, so they also have something to play for. They're at home against a Sheffield team, worst team in the league. It doesn't get any better than this, so I think Brentford will win this game and pick up the 3 points, move closer to securing a spot in the Premier League next season. So I would just play Brentford for a win here.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, next up, Bournemouth hosting Manchester United. Bournemouth wins set at 2.45. United wins set at 2.85. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Now, Bournemouth basically in they're 12th there, so they're basically not playing it for anything, 41 points. United, they are 11 points behind Villa for the fifth spot, but they do have a game in hand, so give them a win there. It goes up to 8 points. Can they challenge for a top 5 spot here?
Yes, of course. I'm going for the United to win here. You can ignore this one. It won't at 2.8. It's worth a try. It's Manchester United, so I'm just going for a Man U win.
Yeah, and although United has been a very hard team to trust during the season, um, they're sometimes can really surprise. And against a Bournemouth team not really playing for anything, I can see Ten Hag really getting his guys ready in the spot. But United, they can also easily lay an egg. So United won't be one of my best bets, but I will take them in the spot. All right, next up, Liverpool hosting Crystal Palace. Liverpool wins set at 1.25. Palace wins set at 13. Line for total goals 3.5. Now, you said earlier, Sergio, like Liverpool, they rested a lot of players against Atalanta. So obviously, the Premier League winning that means a lot to them.
Yes, I think they add more. I think the Premier League adds more value to what they want to accomplish. So I think because it's the Europa League they're playing, right?
Yes, the Europa League, and Klopp also mentioned he is leaving at the end of the season. So you want to go out on a high, win the Premier League. It basically doesn't get any better than that. Just winning the Premier League and in your last in a season as a coach for Liverpool. So that would be very good. Right now they're tied with Arsenal, 71 points. So they really can't afford to drop points.
The over 3.5, interesting.
Yeah, that would be an interesting play here. I can see Liverpool scoring 4 goals in this game. Maybe don't even need Palace for the over 3.5.
Yeah.
All right, next up, West Ham hosting Fulham. West Ham wins set at 2.43. Fulham wins set at 2.95. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now West Ham also involved in Europa League action. They're playing against Leverkusen. Will have one eye on the return. So do they think they can beat Leverkusen in the return?
Yes, I think I think they believe that. So
So
it's
they might not really be up for this game, but this is like a classic David Moyes and coaching teams where you just see the teams is hot, cold. So you don't know which West Ham team is showing up.
yeah, yeah, and it's also a derby, so yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one actually. But I'm I'm actually just a lean for West Ham, but that's only because they're playing at home.
Yeah, and they have a little bit more to play for. They're one
Yeah.
point behind Manchester United, so they somewhat have an outside chance of finishing in the top five if United does. So West Ham has a little bit more to play for, so I would also go with West Ham in this spot. All right. Next up, Arsenal hosting Aston Villa. Arsenal wins set at 1.32. Aston Villa wins set at 10.5. Line for total goals 3.5. Now, like we mentioned last week, Arsenal they really want to win the Premier League. It will mean a lot to them. So they're playing at home. Also, they will be ticked off against they feel they got unfairly and judged against Bayern Munich in the Champions League game. So they might be a little bit mad and try to make Aston Villa pay the price here, right?
Yes, and Villa also played during the week. Good win against Lille, but against Arsenal, that's another story. And Villa in the Premier League, they've not been that great.
Of late, especially on the road. Yeah.
So I'm just going for an Arsenal win.
All right. Next up, Chelsea hosting Everton. Chelsea wins set at 1.75. Everton wins set at 4.75. Line for total goals set at 3.5. I think this is kind of a high total, 3.5. Chelsea. I know they sometimes allow a lot of goals, but against a team like Everton that doesn't really try to score that much, and Everton also 2 points above Luton, 2 points above the drop. So I can see Everton really defending in this game and really maybe try to sneak out a point. So I'm taking the under 3.5 in this spot. Or are you doing something here?
No, I'm staying away from this one actually. Yeah, not very interesting for me this game.
And it's kind of crazy that I know we're kind of late into the season, but it's not like it's the last game. Chelsea's not playing for anything.
No. So yeah, 1.76. Yeah, it's a good odd to just sprinkle something on them, but that's it, I think.
Yeah. All right, we agree there. That wraps up the Premier League, and that wraps up all picks and leans for the upcoming weekend. Quick recap for my best bets. I have Barcelona for a win, 1.88 against a awful Cadiz team, so I just can't let that one pass up, although I'm not a Barcelona fan. But still, they should win this game. Next, Atletico Madrid winning against Girona, a draw or win for Hoffenheim against Mainz, Dortmund winning, Lecce Empoli, both teams to score, and Napoli Frosinone, also both teams to score. What do you got, Sergio?
Yes, I have Roma for a win, AZ, RKC over 3.5. I have Sparta Rotterdam, of course, for a win, Heerenveen for a win, Twente, Tottenham for a win, and of course, Manchester United. Yeah.
All right. Those are some really good odds, very profitable if those were to hit. All right. Thank you guys for joining. And like we always say, bet smart, bet with your head, set your limits, and stay within your means. Have a great weekend.
Yes, enjoy the weekend, everybody.